Hello guys, for those of you that haven't watched the other videos or you don't exactly know what we're doing here, we are building a modern eco-village in the southern Spain, about 60 kilometers from the southern sea coast. We're building 500 houses approximately, and it's a concept that really sticks out from the rest of its kind because of several things. First of all, yes, it is an eco-village, but we're not giving up the comfort of modern homes. We just make it more sustainable. We use innovation to help nature and to help ourselves instead of ruining everything. And with that said, today's guests are all about innovation and how it can help us and how innovation can help nature and how it can be integrated, like how science can be integrated to achieve a fantastic natural lifestyle and with enormous health benefits and implement it into our project. So we're going to have three amazing guests today. And we're going to start with Lauren. And without me saying so much more about it, we go straight to Lauren and she can introduce herself and the entire concept.
Hello everybody, my name is Lauren and I am so excited to be part of this Modern Eco Village project. When I heard about the Modern Eco Village, I sent an email to Janku, and I think within a few hours we were on the phone chatting about all the things, and within I think it was 2 to 3 weeks, myself, my partner, and our 1.5-year-old son were driving from Barcelona to Alicante to see the land and meet them. And it was such an amazing sort of surreal experience because literally days before I was speaking on my Instagram account about the importance of community, the importance of looking at things like environmental toxicity in your environment. And when I saw this project, I was like, this is exactly what I have been wanting and hoping for years. So I'm very excited to be part of this project. My background is actually in the Western healthcare system. I started off as a midwife and a nurse practitioner working in the hospitals. And about 9 years ago, I left and jumped into integrative medicine because I felt like I could do more good in the world. And I really wanted to be a detective for people's health. I wanted to understand why people became ill, and I wanted to help them fix their issues from the root up. And so I jumped into integrative medicine, which I eventually realized was really environmental medicine, because much of what humans are dealing with these days is in large part due to environmental toxicities, things that we're exposed to on a daily basis. One of the things that I love about this Modern Eco Village project is that they are focusing on having homes that are healthy, that breathe, that do not use toxic substances in the building process, and that use materials that really align with the human body. And one of the things that I have learned over the years and studied over the years is that much of our sort of normal building processes are using materials that are extremely toxic to the environment, toxic to our physical body, toxic to the animals. And we just continue to build in these ways that promote continued toxicity on the planet and for humans. And part of these toxic building products that they use are filled with formaldehyde, they're filled with solvents, they're filled with glues and plastics. And these are all things that if you dive into the literature, we know cause reproductive harm, cause cancers, cause skin issues, cause respiratory issues, cause gynecological issues. Every system of the body is affected by these substances that we're breathing in and touching day in and day out in our home environments. And so in the Modern Eco Village, the plans are to build structures that are healthy to humans, using products that don't have formaldehydes, that don't have volatile organic compounds or VOCs, that don't use solvents and plastics that are excessively toxic to the human body. And so that was one of the things that really excited me about the project, is that we are looking at actually not only building community, which is one piece, a huge piece of what helps humans thrive, but we were also combining that with healthy building materials, which is going to help our physical bodies be healthy as well. The other huge focus in the Modern Eco Village is making sure that EMF radiation is well controlled. And they are looking at building homes that are actually zero EMF, which is amazing. So EMFs is another thing that it's crazy to me actually how many studies there are, hundreds of studies that actually look at EMFs and their effects on human health. And we actually know that EMFs affect human health, specifically the actual cell membrane. EMFs will actually create an increase in permeability in the cell membrane, meaning that more toxicity can enter and more nutrients actually leave the cell, leaving a person in a state of potentially, physical issues, physical disability, chronic fatigue syndrome, things like that, more chronic conditions. And so EMFs were another piece of what I really wanted in an eco village and a community. I wanted that to be, well controlled, and having people work on that where we can still have modern amenities but not be bombarded by this electricity constantly in our homes. And I will tell you guys a story. So I am actually somebody who is fairly electrosensitive. I never really realized it until we actually moved into this home where we're living now. And I just was unable to sleep here. Every night I would go to bed and I would start getting tachycardia and anxiety, and I just had insomnia all night, to the point where I said, there's something in this house that my body does not agree with. I actually slept in a tent on an air mattress in the garage for about 6 weeks while we were trying to figure out what was going on with the house. And we actually ended up having an EMF expert come to the house, and he found that the amount of dirty electricity coming from our downstairs floor into our top floor, which is where our bed is, was excessively high, about 1,000 times more than what is considered normal in terms of dirty electricity. And so it was preventing me from being able to sleep, and it was putting my body into a very anxious, sympathetic fight or flight state. And so luckily, all we had to do was turn off the circuit breaker to our bedroom at nighttime, and it completely resolved the issue, and I've been fine ever since in this house. But there are many different types of EMFs that can affect us. So, some of that is Wi-Fi, some of it is dirty electricity, some of it is magnetic fields and electric fields. And so there are many different types, and it really requires a specialist to be able to determine how to mitigate all of those different types of EMF radiation. And I know that they are working on that in the Modern Eco Village project. There is actually a fascinating book called The Invisible Rainbow, which talks about when electricity actually started, which was around the mid 1700s. And it used to be sort of this, nobody lived with electricity. And so it was sort of this new innovative thing. And they would actually go to different festivals, like showing electricity in what they called Leyden jars at the time. And people would actually find it funny to go shock themselves with these Leyden jars. And actually, in terms of the history of medicine, they actually used electrical medicine, where they would start giving people shock therapy in order to improve their state, whether that be, fatigue or mental health issues. And they would use this sort of shock therapy. What they found is that a certain percentage of people actually got way, way worse. And they didn't really know why at the time, why people were getting so much worse, and other people seemed to do okay with it. But there was a lot of exercising of caution at this time, saying, maybe we shouldn't roll out electricity all throughout our towns and cities, because maybe people, have issues with electricity. And that was all ignored, in lieu of, convenience and, all the modern amenities that we have now. And I think over the years and the generations, people have become more electrically sensitive as well, because they've acquired more environmental toxicity. And so now we have, kind of the double whammy of EMFs that are constant in the environment, and environmental toxicity, which is also constant. You can go to the top of Mount Everest and there's excessive amounts of lead from jet fuel from planes flying overhead. And so all of this is pervasive in the environment now and is leading people into chronic complex illness, things like fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, and all the different, itises and things that people can have. And so the modern eco-village is really going to be a haven of having homes that are healthy, that use building materials that are non-toxic and breathable, also combining it with a no EMF zone, which is amazing. It's about the best that you can get on the planet now. And so I'm so excited to be working on this project and extending my expertise on environmental medicine and toxicity to this project. And I'm equally as excited to live in this community and experience it. So I'm excited to connect with you all.
All right. That was Lauren. She has a lot of knowledge regarding all these things and how we can implement them. My next guest, though, is equally exciting, and we got to know him here in southern Spain through another friend of ours, and he just came at the right time when we were planning to do this, and he came with his knowledge. And I'm just not going to say so much. I let him introduce himself and what he does and how he's going to head the eco village. So he's Jørn.
Thank you. I'm here because we are the indoor generation. We spend 90% of our time indoor. And what I do is very easy because we are not made for being inside. We are made for being outside most, in movement all the time. So 40 years ago, I got the opportunity to got this situation. First time with NASA, because I experienced with a spaceship, how to be in a spaceship for years without contact with nature. And that's the first thing. But you can't use this science for something. This is very different from a house building and the spaceship.
So you actually done the research with NASA?
No, not me.
But NASA has done the research.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
That's the first step. The second step was when I come in contact with Tove Fjell. She was a scientist on the university in Norway, and she works with me in 15 years to see how can we get nature inside to get a very benefit from the nature, and how we can use the benefit to get a good life inside. And there we are. So we develop a system based on this science to give people back the nature inside, nature and daylight inside to get a better life. So that's the reason I'm here. I'm going to escape life into the room of the landscape this time.
So I mean, I know how we're gonna do this because I already know you. And
Okay.
I know that would be in the form of bio walls, green walls, right?
Yes.
That's what the research was all about, how humans interact with plants.
Yes.
And what sort of effect does it have on our mental and physical health, right?
Yeah.
And in big lines, what is the effect?
The effects are that you get more healthy in a lot of different ways, This plant is a green leaf. It's about 400 million years old. This is not depend on us, but we are very much depend on these plants, And the contact with nature is a part of it. We are designed for contact with nature, all of us. All the mental, all the physical are designed for contact with nature. But in our culture, we haven't understand yet this opportunity to get power back into us. So it's very easy, but you have to, the contact with yourselves coming with contact with nature. So we build in this green walls in the houses. You feel a much better inside life. You take something outside, put it inside, and this nature is the best we know how to get the effects and the benefit inside with people in houses.
So where should we put these plants? Where are we going to place them? I know that every house is going to have a standard green wall
Sure.
inside, but where should we place this green wall? Is it the living room, the bedrooms?
Yeah. Where people are most of the time, in the walls, Yeah, it could be a lot of different design on this one. This is made by models they can explain everywhere.
Yeah, we can just expand
Yes.
one wall and
Yeah.
make it bigger and place it
Bigger,
several
yes, like
places. Yeah.
Lego in a
But
way.
I mean, most of the people, and including me, the first time I heard about this,
Yeah.
my first thought was, okay, I love plants. I love having them inside, and I understand the benefits, but I cannot take care of one single plant. It's gonna die,
Mm.
and how will I take care of it?
Yeah. Most people kill plants.
Yeah,
Yes.
me included.
Yeah, because green fingers is not what that is very easy. Green fingers is system and a calendar.
A calendar.
This system are made for everybody to succeed with the plant walls, and then in short time is you put the plants in a special design tray, and every third weeks you give them 1.6 liter water.
So every third weeks,
Yes.
1.6 liters with water,
Water.
and that would leave.
That is leave.
Wow,
Yeah.
that sounds very simple.
Yes, it is. It is. It's made for to everybody to success.
Yeah, so
That's
everybody can succeed with
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. Everybody.
Yeah. My God, I can't wait to try it because you just came back yesterday or when this week you came back from
Yeah, yeah.
from Norway and you're about to install this wall in our house, right?
Mm.
So we're gonna experience this for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm very very excited,
Yeah, sure.
and yeah, I can tell people after 6 weeks if it worked or not. No plant has ever survived six weeks in my care.
I've been my system tested for 6 years, really.
Oh, 6 years, okay.
And I am not green fingers.
You don't have
No,
green
no,
fingers,
no,
yeah.
no, no, no.
You just done the research, yeah.
Yes, sir. But I follow the system.
Oh,
That's
I see, yeah.
So easy it is. Yes.
Yeah, well, it's amazing what you can do if you have things in a system, like you say.
Yeah, yeah.
But most people that are interested in our eco village, I'm very surprised actually to see how interested they are in their mental and physical health.
Yeah.
Everybody cares about it.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why this is such an important solution we can offer straight from the start.
Mm.
I mean, isn't it nice that you buy a house and a green wall is going to be already in place?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. You have to be very nice because the system is based only the physical. Is it physical? But when you go into the room and wake up in the morning and you touch the leaf in the system and you can feel it, you are in contact with the nature. And thus our society is not based on that models. Our society are based on technical models for everything. And therefore we have to move it over to biologic models for understanding. And the biologic models is here. Mm-hmm. And in every people and every life is a logic inside. And when you touch the logic, you will understand it. So we have to be physical in this way and touch it. something happens. It's magic.
Yeah, a lot of people call it grounding,
Yeah.
like touching and
Yeah.
feeling the nature with
Yeah.
your hands, with your feet,
Yeah.
stepping on bare ground and all of that.
Yes.
It's a wonderful concept.
It's different for every people, of course. The touch of all these things, it helps to be a good life, for a good life, what we are going to.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Jørn. I think we summed it up in very short time. What we're planning to do, we can give people some more information on the website. But thank you so much for now.
Thank you very much.
Well, what Jørn was telling you now is that every single house will come with green walls installed in it, like as a standard package. And the benefits from these are both physical and mental. And what happens now? Yes, this is a great solution, and yes, we are in the middle of nature. We are surrounded by green hills and trees, and we grow our own food and all of that, and we take nature into the house with this solution as well. And even though this is great and it's fantastic, it still wouldn't mean that much if it wasn't for the quality of the materials that we use for building the houses. I mean, we are not using plasterworks, we're using MgO, we're not using lava, we're using rockwood, which is basically minerals. The steel frame is just a bundle between, it's an alloy from magnesium and zinc. So all the materials are really good for you, non-toxic, wonderful materials to build a house from. And that's why it's just a part of this concept. And it just enhances it. It won't work in itself, but together with all the other solutions we have in place, it's a fantastic solution. With that said, another very, very important thing that a lot of you asked me about, and Lauren was talking about in her video, is EMF, electromagnetic frequencies and interference. And we got a specialist for this as well. And every single house will be built with this in mind. We have Magne here with us from Norway. He runs EMF Consult, deals with projects like this on larger scales, and he implements the solutions in every single house and building that's being built now. And again, I'm not going to say very much. I'll let him introduce himself and tell us a little bit about these solutions. Hi, Magne, and welcome again.
Thank you, Janko, and thank you for inviting me. Well, as you said, I'm working with electromagnetic fields. A lot of people think about electromagnetic fields as only the radiation from cell towers, Wi-Fi, routers, but it's so much more. In a house, you have wiring. Every house has hundreds of meters of wiring. And all these wires are emitting electric fields and magnetic fields. And these fields are not only within a short distance from the wire, it extends 2 to 3 meters out from the walls. And I've been working with this for now 13 years. And during these years, I've met so many people with electrohypersensitivity. A lot of people don't know that this is the problem. When they call, they've just started to suspect maybe this is the cause of my problem. But afterwards, when we start to mitigate, first we measure and find out what sort of fields we have. Is it radio frequencies? Is it electric fields? Is it magnetic fields? Is it dirty electricity? And based on that, we analyze and we find ways to reduce the load on each person. And when we do so, I got immediate feedback. Almost the day after, 2 days after, they call back and say, wow, this is amazing.
Well, I just have to say, I have to stop you right here, because this is very, very important. Even though we are not hypersensitive, neither me or Belinda, we are not hypersensitive to electromagnetic interference. Still, when we visited your house and we entered that room that is shielded, I felt like somebody turned off the switch. I don't know what switch it was. I couldn't tell what it was, but I just felt that somebody turned off the switch. I cannot explain it any better. I still heard some sounds from the outside. It was the same house. But that room that was shielded, I just felt like, yeah,
Your nervous system just calms down.
exactly. That's the feeling that I had, and that's from two people that don't have any sensitivity towards electromagnetic interference. So I can imagine that the people that actually are sensitive, their experience a way more, greater reaction.
Greater reactions. But as you said, you don't know. You didn't think you were reacting to it, and that's the same. I think probably 10-15% are sensitive, but 100% are reacting to these fields.
Exactly.
So if you don't know you are sensitive to these fields, you might have problems or symptoms like headaches, you have heart palpitations, you have chronic fatigue, you have skin problems, rashes. If you turn off the electric fields or electromagnetic fields in the house, they might disappear. So I've had people with heart palpitations turning off the decked telephone, the telephone, wireless telephone you had in your house before, turn it off, and it disappeared within 10 minutes.
Wow. What about like sleep quality and general well-being?
Yeah, that's the one of. If you look at the research done on electromagnetic fields and health, one of the things they see is that it interacts with the circadian system or rhythm. So if you are exposed to electromagnetic fields in the evening, especially blue light is quite known for disrupting the sleep pattern, but also the wireless that you have is doing the same thing. So if you turn off everything a couple of hours before you go to bed, you will feel that it's improving your sleep. But a lot of my clients, they have sleep problems as the reason why they call.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the solutions. I mean, yes, we all want to be very healthy and have beautiful lives, healthy and all that, but we also need the internet. So how do we do it?
Yeah, well, you can manage without Wi-Fi in your house.
Just cable up everything.
Yeah, we haven't had in our house. We haven't had Wi-Fi for 12 years, almost 12 years.
Okay.
It's been cabled. Every now and then you need the Wi-Fi to update your mobile phone or do some other things. Or if you have guests coming, they would like to have your Wi-Fi.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we have Wi-Fi available, but it's not on all the time. So we are working with cable internet, and all the houses in Planes will have fiber optics going to each house, and from there we will wire with shielded cable to each and every room. And some rooms will have maybe more than just one socket, but maybe 2 or 3 sockets in the living room, for instance. But we will at least provide cables, shielded cables to each and every room, so you don't have to use your Wi-Fi if you don't want to. But of course, everyone has to decide for their own. So it will be possible to install Wi-Fi, but we recommend that the Wi-Fi is adjusted so it doesn't affect your neighbors, only the area that you
exactly
within the house.
Well, as I see for myself, I'm working online. We have several businesses that need our attention on a daily basis. So I have some hours a day when I work. So a scenario for me would be the Wi-Fi fully functional for some hours when I need to reply messages and do some calls, and I have to be on the laptop and I have to do all these things. Yeah, the laptop can be wired, but I think Wi-Fi for me would be a necessity when I'm active on my phone and all of that. So let's say that we can have a Wi-Fi that is on for a couple of hours, and then the rest of the day it can be on only when you pick up your phone, for example.
Yeah.
There is a solution like that, as I understand.
Yeah. The Wi-Fi router that I have in our house is it's a eco router. It's called eco router or eco router.
Yeah.
And that you can reduce the output power, so you can reduce it by 95%.
Okay.
It's also, every router has a beacon signal that transmits 10 pulses a second. But you don't need to have beacons telling that I'm available if you want to connect 10 times a second. Once a second is enough.
Yeah.
So then you reduce the beacon signals by 90%. And it's also set up so that it's only the persons that have logged into the network that can actually turn it on again. If it goes to sleep, it goes to sleep when you turn off the Wi-Fi on your laptop, on your tablet, on your mobile phone. In the evening, it will go to sleep. There's no transmission at all. As soon as you wake up in the morning and you turn on the Wi-Fi on your laptop, it starts again.
Yeah, it turns itself on.
Yeah.
Nice.
So and you can also put the time clock so that you set up from 12 o'clock in the night till 6 o'clock in the morning. It should go off, whatever.
Do you think we can buy 500 of those?
If you can.
Buy 500 of those?
Yes, of course. Yeah. It's only firmware. It's a firmware you put on the router.
I see. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was a special router.
No, it's a special firmware, but it is only adapted to a special type of router.
Oh, I see.
But we can make that, no problem.
Perfect. Well,
so that's the internet, and also the main thing for me is to do the electric installation, because what you felt when you were in the house, we turned off the electric system. So the electric fields disappeared from the room that you were in. And that's what you felt.
Yeah, the way I see it now, there are two things that need to be shielded. One of them is actually the switches, where all the switches are.
Yeah.
The panel.
The panel can be just a metal panel.
Yeah, or in a special box that doesn't really. And then you have all the cables. The entire house is wired with cables and all that. And those can be shielded. And we filmed that video that I can show people how it actually affects having a shielded tube or just a regular one.
Yeah.
So all the houses will be shielded, right?
Yeah. Because electric field is probably not being so much research on electric field as on radio frequency and magnetic fields. But my experience after 13 years working with this, electric field is probably underrated as a health factor, because as soon as you turn off the electric field, people feel better, like you did.
Yeah, like I did. Yeah, and another thing that we set up, actually. I would like to take credit for it, but I didn't. It was just there from before. All the cables in the village, as you saw, they're into the ground, like the main cables coming from the grid.
Yeah.
So as I understood, having the wires on stolps, it will create a lot of interference.
If you have revolved cables, it's not going so far from the cables. But the old type, where you had 3 separate cables, that you have a magnetic field extended maybe 10 meters away.
Yeah, I mean, we done this study in our house, right? We were measuring on this side of the house where the power lines are going, and then the other side of the house, the other bedrooms, they were so much more quieter. And guess what? We sleep so much better in other. We moved there. We moved our main bedroom.
Good for you.
Yeah, and we understood that after you measured everything, and we didn't understand why we felt so much more peaceful in the other one.
No.
And that's because the noise is extremely lower in the other side of the house because of these power lines that pass. Here in Spain, they're still hanging wires on stolps. The old infrastructure is still in place. A lot of these small places here. So we're gonna make sure that we don't have that.
No. And the third item that we need to look at because all houses are going to have solar panels. Yeah. And solar panels are creating a lot of dirty electricity, as Lauren talked about. She was reacting to the dirty electricity. So we need to filter out the dirty electricity as well. So each installation will have to have a filter between the inverter in the solar system before it's connected to the main house or the distribution box. And in addition to that, I would like to introduce a demand switch for each bedroom. That's what you had in our bedroom where you were testing. When you turn on the light, the demand switch switches on the light or on the electricity in the room. And when you turn off the light, it's like turning off the breaker in the switchboard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's completely dead. There's no electric or magnetic
In the
fields
wires,
in the wires at all. There's no
Nice.
voltage in the wires. So that's something I would like to have in all the bedrooms.
It sounds
not
very
in the rest.
complicated.
No, it's very easy. Very easy
Okay.
to install. We've done it here in Spain, in our house in Spain.
All right.
And as you said, you
Yeah,
could actually
it works.
feel the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah, it worked really, really nice. And I mean, a lot of people. It seems like I was, in the twilight zone. I didn't know anything about this, and most of the people that took contact with us and they want to live in the eco village, they knew so much about electromagnetic frequencies and electrical and Wi-Fi and radio frequencies. Everyone knew but me.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're learning.
yeah, so I'm learning. Yeah, but
Yeah.
having the experience in your house, it really changed my mind on everything, because we are not sensitive to that stuff. And when I saw the difference, I just realized that everybody needs to have this.
Yeah, because in the night, that's when your body is regenerating. It needs to rest. If you look at from the nature side, where in the night the sun is on the other side of the globe, we are in the dark side, so the cosmic radiation is on the minimum. In the night, you lay down, and all the internal signaling, because we are electric being as well, all the internal electric signal is on the minimum as well, because you don't speak, you don't walk, you don't move. So it's an ideal situation for the body to heal itself. It can send the signals to do all the repair. So if you have all the electric fields in your bedroom while you're sleeping, then it's interfering with the time of the day or the night where you're going to sleep and regenerate. So it's very important that at least the bedroom, if you don't do anything else, just do the bedroom.
Yeah, that's the most important.
Yeah. But in the houses up there, we will do all the rooms will have shielded, but in the bedrooms, we'll also make it an additional demand switch, turning off the whole entire system.
I see. Well, that was that was a lot of good information. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. There's so much more to talk about, but just so you know, guys, Magne is going to help us to implement all these solutions in every single house that we're building, and also in all the buildings, community buildings, and everything that we're building there. The schools, very important for the kids too, and all the common areas, the shops, the offices. We're gonna have green walls. We're gonna have no interference of any kind, so you can enjoy both day and night in the eco village. This I know these are things that really lift the level of this concept. Not only the construction, but as I said, it's a whole concept. And when all these things come together, you will live probably in the best place in the world. Yeah. With that said, one more thing I have to add. Next week we're coming with some great solutions. One of the questions that people are always asking, especially now so long into the project, people are asking about, okay, how much is it going to be? Oh, I love this solution. I love the green walls. I love the EMF. I love all of that. And the modern houses and the swimming pools. Yes, I can live like a drug lord, but how much is it going to cost? So yeah, I always tell people, yeah, it's not going to cost much compared to a similar type of construction down south. But I already came up with some estimates, but people are wondering, how are we going to pay for it? Can we get a bank loan? How can we afford it? So yeah, we have a lot of solution in place, and that's what we're going to talk about next week. And I also have a solution for the reservations. We're going to combine the community that's being created here. This is a community project, not a housing project. So what we're going to do, we're going to really take care of the community. We're going to get people to get together, and we're going to combine it with being a part of the community. So reserving your house for 10,000 euros or whatever sum you chose is not enough to be a part of the community, but being part of the community is the first step, right? In the same time, we need to separate people only dreaming about being in the eco village and people that actually are going to be our neighbors. So we're going to start up this community, for people that are really interested. And whether you would like to reserve your place now or later, or find a solution for your financing, or even the reservations can be done in several steps. We're going to talk about that next week and make it affordable for everyone to be a part of this fantastic community. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. I'm probably going to be together with Belinda next week and talk about these things. So have a great Sunday, and I'll see you soon.